Okay, hi Sarah. This is a video just to walk you through as much as I can setting up a custom domain in Clickfunnels. So there are 3 URL locations in Clickfunnels. There is the top level, which is set up here in custom domains and in the settings tab here in the blue toolbar. I hope you can see my mouse. Then there's this one here you can see, which is misleading because it's the most visible but to you as a designer, but actually your visitors never see it. And then there's another one in here, and that is the path just there. So actually what you set just there is what people will see at the end of the URL. So the path or the slug, it's sometimes referred to at the end of the URL. So step 1, if you're setting up a custom domain, is you need to go to Account and click Custom Domains there in the drop down menu, and I'll just flick to that tab. It will land you on this page, and then you add a new domain with that yellow button, and on the left hand side you've got this use an existing domain option here. So you click that and you want to do automatic setup. Now, I'll just quickly cover off these things because they can be a little intimidating. A Cloudflare account, you don't need to know what that is. You'll just basically give them an email address and a password and you'll set it up. And it's completely free. You get an SSL, which is good. You don't need to worry about that either. Now, you'll have DNS settings at your domain registrar. So if you register your domains, for example, with GoDaddy, then you'll need to log in with GoDaddy and set this thing up, which is called a CNAME record. The one exception to this, I believe, is if you're using a WordPress website, in which case you can use the plugin and you can create the custom URL from inside your WordPress website's admin, not here in Clickfunnels. So we go to automatic setup, click that button. Then it will give you these options. You chuck in the domain here, create new user here for Cloudflare, and then basically just enter anything in there. So whatever your email address is that you normally use, and set up a password. That's not, you don't have to already have that account. When you enter whatever details you put in there, it creates one for you, and you must have one to proceed. The root of the URL I normally set to the first page in the funnel. 404 do exactly the same. So for example, you've got a squeeze page, sales page, video, blah, 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 it goes on. That's the first page in the funnel. So set that as the root and set that as your 404. Tick this box here to enable SSL and then click create domain and it will do that. Now you have a domain set up at the top level of the account. You need, excuse me, ignore that screen for the moment. Now you need to come back to this screen, which is where you have your funnel, and then you need to come over to the settings tab over here is the next step, I believe, and select a domain. So this box here, domain, which I've just highlighted, there's a drop down menu, click that, drop it down and select whichever domain. Yours will be in there, and just basically ignore the path for the moment. You can try removing that, but often it will create the string of characters because you're going to enter that data into another page in a second. So basically select your domain like this, and then come back to steps. Once you've done that, oh sorry, you need to click the save button as well, which is right down the bottom there. Save and update settings, then come back. Once you come back to here, you'll now need to set the actual URL with the path, and the path is the string of characters after the .com. It's normally a slash, and then for example you might have opt-in or thank you or something customized. So come to this little gear icon here for the page. This is the actual URL that people will see. So not the one that you set up here, not this one here in the middle, that's just for internal use. It'll be this one. And the reason is because Clickfunnels follows that hierarchy when it directs people through its links. So it sends them first to your account level URL. It then routes them through this one, but because you have multiple split test pages, it then has to land on one of these as the final URL. So it's a redirect from here to whatever you set in here or in here. So click on a gear, and then you name it there, which is that name up there, and then you also enter the path, and you can type in whatever you want there. So if you set that to be the same as you've set in the middle, then it will add this weird string of characters so that you don't get a infinite loop. So the path could be free funnel landing page, for example. Anything, whatever you want to set, free funnel landing page. Update that, and it will save that as the URL of the page. This won't change, but don't worry about it, because as I said, that's not what people see. Now your path is that. So the full URL will be whatever you set up here in the account as the root URL.com/ this path here, free funnel landing page, which I've just created. And that's it. That's how you set it up. So then you will get often a set of instructions from Clickfunnels that will say something like, add this CNAME record to your DNS and add this da-da-da to your DNS as well. You go and find your webmaster, or if you do it yourself, just log into GoDaddy, FastHosts, whatever you use to register, and enter those records. And then that's it. That's the whole domain setup. Once you've done that, you should have your custom domain up and running. Now, if you do have WordPress, bear in mind that there is that plugin which simplifies the process a little bit. You can do a lot of the actual custom setup of the URL from within that plugin. So you can basically ignore what I've told you here and go and do it in the plugin instead. And it is slightly easier in my experience. So that's it. All right, I hope that was helpful. Any questions, don't hesitate to ping me an email or give me a call. Cheers.